I get totally drawn into cool, compact little campers, especially ones like this here that are more elevated off the ground, are even suited for a family, and then still like tailored towards quality, but staying in that affordable range as well. This is a new line, the Hopper here from Modern Buggy, and this is their Hopper 1. And I haven't seen this thing before, so I'm really excited to take y'all through it. Come on, let's go take a look. What's up, y'all? Welcome back to another video. If you're new here, my name is Myles with Firmly Unbound, and we are here at Dallas Market Hall today. This is the day before the start of the Dallas RV show. I live in Dallas, so this is a show that I come to every year, and I am here in the Holiday World display taking a look at this Modern Buggy Hopper. This is their Model 1. I believe Hopper just has 2 models at this point from what I can understand online, and I'm really excited to take a look at this with y'all. But real quick, I want to let you know before we go through this camper that if you are in the Dallas area, this show is happening this weekend. So that's going to be, what's the date today? It's February 18th. So it's going to be the 19th through like the 22nd, happening this weekend if you are watching this as of me posting. So this is something you can come to in Dallas to take a look at a bunch of different RVs here. And then I'm specifically here filming in the Holiday World display because the manager that hired me into this industry, and let me get behind the camera here. The manager that hired me into this industry, his name is Tommy Owen, and he is the manager at the Holiday World of Dallas store. He's the man that's pretty much responsible for me being here in the position that I am in today. So he or Holiday World does not pay me anything to be here. I'm just saying this on my own accord. If you want to be taken care of by somebody that I would personally recommend on like a legitimate personal level, the Holiday World of Mesquite store, where Tommy is the manager there. I just know how he's going to run that store. I know how he's going to take care of you, and I would highly recommend you purchase your RV there if they have something that you like. So I'll be going through a few different RVs here at this show that they have, and just the coolest stuff here that I can find, starting with this Modern Buggy Hopper. Now this camper here, it is only 16 feet 2 inches long, and then we're going to get over to the other side and look at the specs. But notice there's 2 awnings on the outside. That's something that I haven't seen on hardly any campers this size. It also has the rear entry door, which is pretty interesting. And only 16 feet 2 inches. As we get to the weight specs over here, a couple things we can point out. We have a manual tongue jack up front, so these are things that are going to keep the cost down. Single propane bottle, same thing there as well. Definitely designed to be more of just like your weekend camper type of build here. And then right here, we have a gross vehicle weight rating of 4,400 pounds. I don't know if they're going to have the unloaded weight on here. Looks like we have a cargo carrying capacity of 1,703 pounds. So pretty good there. That's going to put the dry weight at about, gosh, that's going to be under 3,000 pounds for your dry weight. So looking at about maybe like 2,800 pounds there on the dry weight. While we're here, you have a 14-inch ground clearance down underneath here. So something that definitely makes this camper stand out against some of the other entry-level campers that you'll see that are in this size range. Another thing is you have your fiberglass sidewalls, and it does have Azdel interior sidewall component, so it's a composite panel sidewall. That's going to put this way higher up in terms of overall quality and longevity compared to something like, you know, not to just bash on another brand or anything, they're just in different classes of RV. You have your Keystone Hideout here that's going to have a aluminum sidewall there that's like a lower grade aluminum versus a fiberglass, and then that has wood framing on it, and then that's also going to have more of a traditional Luan interior wall panel that is also going to potentially have the outcome of, you know, warping or, you know, having moisture damage over time and things of that nature. Whereas this with an Azdel sidewall, that composite sidewall is not going to be susceptible to moisture damage. Another key thing with this is not only does it have, from what I understand, aluminum sidewalls, also has aluminum roof construction. So you're getting aluminum construction throughout the entire build of the camper. Also has a custom steel frame specific for the Hopper line. And those things are all going to be a little bit unique as well, where even a lot of campers that have aluminum sidewalls sometimes still have a wood construction in the roof. Again, 2 awnings on the outside. I think that is really cool. We've seen some campers that I've reviewed in the past where they have the rear entry door here, but they only have the awning either over the back or over the side, but not both. So I think it's pretty interesting to have that. And then curious what you guys think about the rear entry door here. The rear entry door definitely makes for an interesting kind of floor plan design that they're able to accomplish. The critique that I've heard on rear entry doors is that the rear side of a camper is what gets most dirty. So that is something, to consider, is that when you're driving down the road, this back wall definitely collects a lot of dirt and dust and things of that degree. So that's really the only main critique I've seen on something like this. But you guys let me know what your thoughts are on the rear entry door. You can see here they have the Asdel exterior and interior walls. Then you have 2 rear stabilizer legs and your solid step going inside. That is going to be a kind of like a composite material solid step going in and out of there, and that just lifts up into the door. Now I'm going to widen out the camera, but I am going to give you a quick glance inside with just the standard lens here on the camera. You can see kind of what it looks like in here, but I am going to widen it out so that we can get more of the camper in the frame. As we step inside, we have our door here, and nice, it does have the privacy shade already installed. Wish they would have gone from the bottom up instead of the top down, but it does have the privacy shade nonetheless. And this door is a black fiberglass door. It's not a glass door. Also has a magnet latch there to keep that door open. So as we step inside, it's a family-friendly floor plan. It does have a little bit of a narrow space here. No slide outs to deal with or anything like that, which is awesome. But you have the sofa here, so you do have a spot to sit down and hang out. You have a memory foam mattress right here. We'll figure out the dimensions on that because that looks like it's basically like a full-size mattress. And then we have a bunk up over the top as well. So really, you have sleeping for up to like, gosh, at least 3 people in here, if not like 4 or 5 if they're kids and whatnot. And if you put like 2 adults in the bed right here, so you could easily go 2, 3, even 4, and then 5 potentially for your sleeping capacity, which is amazing for something this small. As we come back towards the front, you have what looks like is going to be a closet or a pantry right here. So you got some shelving, got a spot to hang clothes there. The shelves are set in place, so they're not going to be removable. Even that, just kind of looking at the quality and stuff in here, everything looks pretty dang good. It does look like we have a wrapped material here. You can kind of see where some, staple points may be, or things that are indicating that some of these areas are like a wrap material, which is what I would expect in a camper like this. I'll get to the price at the end, but I expect this to be pretty dang affordable for what it is, and definitely a very competitive option for other things out there in the market that are similar in size to this. Have your controls for different things like your lights and awning right here, plus your tank levels on the water tanks. And then we have our bunk that drops down. So you have little latches here that are going to hold this bunk up in place. These aren't my favorite latch system. There's better ones out there, but for just something entry level like this, I guess that's okay. Now, not going to be the easiest thing to get up into. If you drop this sofa down, this is a jackknife sofa, so we can lift that up. You see there's no like accessible storage under there, but there are drawers. You drop that down. You have a sleeping surface here, a little bit larger there. Maybe if you have a larger kid, especially one that maybe needs to sleep diagonally to have enough space to stretch out. And then you have the smaller bunk up here. Someone could theoretically, if they're tall enough, climb up on here and then get up onto this bunk. But if it's a smaller kid, like probably anyone under the age of, 8, 9, 10, you might have to assist them and lift them up there to help them get up onto the bunk. You have a little cubby up here. Looks like we have outlets and USB ports there. And just to check, I'm always curious. It looks like, yeah, it has a USB Type A and a USB Type C port. So that's your bunk system. Then we have our mattress, storage space up above through this area. The cabinet doors, these look like they are actually a solid wood cabinet door. That does not look like it's a wrapped material there. I don't see any fraying of like a wrapped material. Looks like this is either painted or, likely painted. So like that, it looks like this is all wrapped material back through here though. But at least solid wood cabinet doors. So all open storage through there. There's a TV backer right here. Kind of an interesting spot for a TV. Definitely not really going to be viewable from the bed unless you sleep with your head, I suppose, on this end of the bed, which I think would be counterintuitive to most people with how they would think to sleep on the bed. But this also strikes me as a camper where a lot of people would get it and not really, necessarily find the need for a TV. It's a weekend camper. Hopefully you can survive a weekend of camping without needing a TV, or just bring a tablet. Windows all the way around, definitely can't go without mentioning that. Really love that you have all these windows, and it does have pull down blackout shades on the windows, so you get true privacy inside of here at night, which is awesome, especially with all that window coverage. Storage down here underneath the bed, Nice big accessible storage. You have your wheel cover right here, which this actually feels like that's a metal material. So that's going to be really good in the event, in case something happened where you had a blowout or something like that, having that be a metal material is going to be much more solid. Hopefully that doesn't happen though. I'm going to lay down in the bed because this is really the only way I know how to get a good dimension on the bed. My head up against the wall. Let me get in the camera. Yeah, it's probably right at about 70 to 72 inches long. I'm 6'1", maybe it's 75 inches long, but my feet are kind of touching the end of the bed with my head laying there, and it's 6'1". You know, I could fully stretch out on this bed, but if you're any taller than like 6'2", 6'3", your feet are definitely gonna start hanging off the bed there. And even if you have pillows at the end that push your head slightly forward, like myself at 6'1", my feet more than likely are gonna hang off of this bed, which is not a big deal to me, but I know for some people that might be, so that's why I mentioned it. More cubby storage right here. Looks like we have our solar charge controller here, so it looks like there should be solar up on the roof. Bigger vent fan here in the space, so in addition to your 13,500 BTU AC, you also have the bigger max air vent fan. And then we have our little bathroom space. This is probably the only area of maybe like considerable critique because it is so small. Mind you, I wouldn't make this a big deal because a lot of places you can go camp will likely have their own bathroom facilities on them that you can also use. But you have a foot flush plastic toilet through here. You have your shower set up here as well. And when I step inside here, there is quite the step up into here to fit the plumbing down underneath there. We have our curtain right here. But when I step inside here, y'all, I'm pretty sure. Now, my shoes are running shoes that I'm wearing today that have a pretty thick platform, so I'm probably standing at about 6'3" right now with my shoes on. Yeah, for me to stand up straight, this is kind of what it looks like right here. So that's what we're working with. However, this is one of those showers where you can just sit down on the toilet and take a shower like this. So if I was taking a shower in here, this is simply how I would do it. But you can see even here too, I mean, I'm pretty narrow. I'm not a super wide guy, and it's very tight in here. Very, very tight. So if I weigh 185 pounds, I would imagine for anybody that's pushing like, you know, for my height, if they're pushing like 210, 220 plus, you might be getting to territory where you might not fit inside of this bathroom. So kind of comical with that, but nonetheless, it is a space that is usable nonetheless. Right here, we have a little rail system. There's a little bench or kind of tabletop outside that is going to go right here. So you get a little tabletop area. It could even be like a desk space, which is pretty cool. And then you have your front wall kitchen. So we have a refrigerator and freezer right here. Looks like this is going to be a 12-volt refrigerator and freezer system right there. Pretty dang good size for this camper as well, especially having its own designated freezer portion. A lot of campers this size just have a single space with the little freezer door inside of the refrigerator, where this has its own designated freezer. Countertop space up here, outlet, stainless steel sink, not the biggest sink ever. In fact, it feels like they could have made it a little bit bigger here, but they still allocate some countertop space here around this area with the size sink that we have. Looks like we have a tankless water heater and then another outlet there. Looks like this is your furnace right here, and then we have a little bit of storage right there. Definitely not a ton of kitchen storage, that's for sure. So I think, you know, that's kind of where this space will be allocated for as well, for some kitchen resources. 2-burner gas stove. And then we have our microwave right here. So pretty standard RV size equipment with all that. And then overall, let me get behind the camera and show you kind of how I fit in the space. So let's get this camera all set up here, and then we can see as I walk around, you know, standing at 6'1" and really 6'3" with the shoes that I have on, you can see how I can move around in this space. There's actually a lot of floor space here in this kitchen area. The walkway through the hallway here is a little narrow. Close this up. Also want to mention we do have a window back here behind that bunk right there, so it is on a snap shade, so just so much good window coverage through here. Also have an outlet right there. This walkway is a little narrow, but other than that, just great floor space all throughout here for a camper this small. So this truly is one of my favorite small build campers that I've seen. Got your storage under there, access to some water lines as well. And then that is pretty much everything on the inside. Let's go ahead and hop out. Now, they don't have any pricing listed on here yet, so I'll see if I can get a price and then add that into the video. I don't know that there's anything else underneath here. Let's go ahead and look under the camper real quick and just see what we got going on under here. We can see some outlets out here, storage space out here, and this is where that table is that I was mentioning. It's like a metal table right there, but pretty good storage space there underneath the bed for outside. Get under here, has an exposed underbelly, so we can see that the water tanks are exposed underneath here. Now, this is not a big deal. I would not make this something that is, you know, like a deal breaker for me, but that's simply because I just really do not camp in below freezing temperatures. That's really the only concern with something like this, is if you're gonna camp in below freezing temperatures, these water tanks could potentially freeze. But if you don't plan to camp in below freezing temperatures at all, which, you know, most people do not, then that really shouldn't be too much of a concern. But that is pretty much everything on this Modern Buggy Hopper. So very curious what y'all think. Let me know down below in the comments. And that's all I got for y'all. Appreciate you watching, and until next time, live firmly unbound.